Okay. Hello, everybody. It's another day, and I'm doing okay today.
How much time does he spend reading? Kinda jealous.
Yeah. I mean, bro, you're a god. You're gonna live a long time.
Isn't that a Greek instrument? Wonder if Tyr brought that back.
Huh. You're lucky those pots aren't active, Raj. I'd be getting my shoot on.
Huh. Dragon skull in the library. No big deal. You always this hard on Thor? Seems like you're mad at him or something.
Ooh, getting nosy. Getting personal. No, I get it. But it's nothing like that. It's... Well, to be honest, it's the only language he understands, and I'm serious. Go ahead and try being nice to him. See where that gets you.
Honestly, I kind of experienced that firsthand. I mean, yeah, I was playing him so I could go check out that Actually, I don't think I was fully playing him because I'd have to rewatch the footage, but I seem to recall Atreus mentioning and talking about the trials and how fun they were before he saw Tyr's mural. So before then, he would have had no reason to try to get Thor interested in it. So I'd say like it's better to. Oh, okay. It'd be better to say that he's more opportunistic than manipulative. Anyway, so my back is doing better today. And I don't know why. I really don't like that. I really don't like that. Because I gotta try to find a way to put this without it sounding bad. Like, if my back pain was like always as bad as it was the last few days.
Huh. Is this old or does he make them paint him young? I used to find Mom's bear rug comforting. Not sure I'll ever think of it the same way now.
I'll put it like this. The fact that sometimes, like, after the recording yesterday, I did, like, a bunch of stretches, and I did a bunch of, like, somewhat dangerous manipulations that I've developed for myself over the years. I talked to my doctor about some of the things I do, and he said that some of them seem like they're not the greatest ideas of things to do, but he also kind of agreed that if they help. One thing I do is I basically lean up against a wall upside down with like my neck bent, because I noticed if I bend my head as forward as it can go, that kind of pulls at my spine, and that helps with my back pain. Obviously, I don't have to explain to you how dangerous that is. One slip and I'll snap my neck. And I just did a bunch of stuff like that, and I woke up this morning, and I'm not pain-free. I want to make it clear that it's not, oh, I can see clear. I'm still in horrifying pain. That's just a part of my life. That's a part of my existence. I don't remember a time when I wasn't in pain. But it's not at the unbearable level where I just had to stop playing the game. I had to stop doing, like, anything. So... But the reason I don't really like that, I mean, like, I like it from the point of view of, like, yay, I'm not hurting as much. But, like, it's very easy for, like, professionals and doctors and whatnot to just kind of write it
You're
off.
back.
Yeah, I'm monologuing here. I'll be in there in a moment. Um, uh, it's really easy for them to, if like I say, oh, I did some stretches and it went away, for them to just write it off and be like, okay, then you don't need any help. No, I need fucking help. First off, I'm still in horrifying pain. I still feel like I got hit by a truck. I can now go take a piss without passing out. That my normal is not your normal. Get that through your head. And also, those stretches and all that stuff, it doesn't always work. There's plenty of times when, I do stuff and it either makes it worse or... Anyway, you may notice that my audio sounds different. I've given up on the Blue Yeti. I spent like a couple minutes fiddling with it, trying to wiggle to get the microphone, or the headphone jack working properly, and I'd get it working, and then it would like drift back over to the other ear, and I'm just tired of fooling with it, and I just know that one of these days I'm gonna do a recording and I'll have fiddled with it to try to get the headphones back, and it'll turn out that I bumped the cord, and then the last half of the recording will just be loud static. And so I did a test recording with the microphone on my headset. Obviously the audio quality isn't as good, but it'll get the job done, especially for the one person that I know will be watching this eventually. And when it comes to like streaming, I'll just have to wait and see. When I do stream, I'll just tell like if someone pops in, I'll just ask them how the audio quality is and say that my microphone isn't working anymore. The funny thing is, Yetis have been around for so long, I thought they'd be super cheap now. They're more expensive than when I bought mine. Mine was $100. And now they're $130. And they look pretty much the exact same. I assume maybe they've improved them or something. But the cheapest I could find on Amazon from a seller that actually had decent stars was like an $80 one that was used. So I don't know what I'll do about that. I might look into taking it to a repair shop and getting a quote on how much it would cost to have the jack replaced, because I know it's just a matter of popping it open and soldering in a new jack. When I was researching it, a lot of people literally said you could buy a soldering kit, like a cheap one, for like $10. It'd be a crappy kit, but it'd get the job done for your one little job. And watch a tutorial, and I've done shit like that. I've repaired shit. I've taken apart controllers that were drifting and repaired them. I've never done any soldering, but I've, taken apart pieces of things and like cleaned them out and put them back together. And so I might make that a project now that I've abandoned the microphone and I don't have any use for it anymore. It's one of those things where, worst case scenario, I fuck it up, and I'd have to look into how much a new jack costs, though, and make sure that I get one that fits it and everything. I really, really wish that it would like, I looked it up, and a lot of people said that that's just how the PlayStation works, and that very few microphones will be recognized as anything other than a headset. And so it'll pair it automatically. I guess this is so fucking roundabout, and I really would not want to do it for the extra amount of time it would take. But I could... if it turns out that the audio quality coming from my headset mic is unbearable, and David, don't mince words when you see this. Do tell me if it's hard to deal with, like if it makes like it unwatchable or too annoying or anything. I guess what I could do is I could plug the microphone into my laptop, pop open Audacity, record there, and then use my headphones in my controller and just have it not record microphone. And then afterwards, pop the audio files from Audacity onto a USB drive, throw those into the Share Factory editor, and then just line them up and put my audio over it. That would obviously be a little extra work because I'd have to then re-render each video. But I guess it wouldn't be as much work as it was before, since I wouldn't have to, since now that I have internet, I could upload directly from the PlayStation. So once it's done, I could upload it immediately instead of copying the whole thing over to the... So I don't know. I don't know. The only other issue to mention is, like I said, my voice may sound weird because I can't really hear... I can hear myself now since there's not really much going on in the game. But when it gets loud and there's fighting and music and shit, I won't really be able to hear myself speak. So my way of speaking may sound weird.
How was
What's
it?
up?
Did Father behave himself?
Yeah.
I
I mean, better than I would have expected, I guess.
Is that the sword from Grandfather's study?
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Her name's Ingrid.
Hi, Ingrid. Wow. All Father must really trust you. Well, glad you survived your first day.
Hey, me too.
Tomorrow we talk about Valkyries.
Definitely.
Woohoo, Valkyries. Seem a little short for a Valkyrie, but hey, I'm not going to judge.
Well, this has been a weird day. Exactly.
Wait a minute. I remember there was a...
Did you think that I would be?
Well, it's a pretty good sword.
I'm not angry. I'm concerned. You know that's not what I want for her.
You don't want her to have a sword.
But it's not about having a sword. It's about what you use it for. I think you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do. And I don't want that for her either, okay? You don't have to worry. She's a smart girl. Smarter than her father.
Well, when you're right, you're right. Come here.
Oh, so we're just gonna listen to them fuck now? Now, they didn't retcon that, did they? Because he broke his mother's knife when he used it to jam that gear. This knife, the other knife is just like a random one he found.
Good morning, brother. No news, I'm afraid.
I have a plan.
Do you now?
The Nords. You found them once. Could you do so again?
I could try, but I don't see how that would
They
help.
are the fates of these lands, are they not? I would know what they know,
You may not find them cooperative.
as long as I find them. Where do we search?
Have I told you what I did to the
Midgard.
fates of my
But if
lands?
Atreus is in Asgard, there's no getting him back without an army. We should be raising one.
Yes, nothing like a catastrophic war to improve the situation. The boy seems quite capable, perhaps if you simply give him some time.
You are not free of blame here. You encouraged his foolishness, his confusion. I do not seek war. But if Odin has stolen my son, do not doubt the lengths I will go to.
Your nature has always been clear, Kratos. But you, Freya. War is a first resort. That's not the Freya I knew. I hope the Norns can give you the counsel you need. Perhaps mine is no longer of use here.
Tyr, stop. This is no time to divide ourselves further. Come, sit, please.
You have been quiet.
Frankly, I'm surprised you of all people would seek out fate. But your instincts haven't let us down so far. Let's find the Norns.
Okie dokie.
Who am I to offer him counsel? I only hoped to help the boy find his answers. And I failed. What's my role in all this now?
Tyr, you're at the center of this. You always have been. That's why Odin imprisoned you in the first place. He's terrified of you.
I doubt that very much.
Nice, fixing the door.
And not just because of prophecies. No one has ever united the realms as you once.
Let me quickly... I'm just gonna drop everything by one. And drop the global one by one. Just because I know this microphone's gonna be a little bit quieter.
I know you feel that way now. I've lost myself before. More than once, but believe me, there is something beyond that.
And what is that?
Purpose. Purpose is the path that leads you to yourself.
So you would have me accept my fate. Lead your armies into war. Secure your vengeance.
If securing our justice is not your purpose, then find another. For your own sake.
Yeah. So, like, one thought that I had when I was playing last time, but I didn't really...
Try to talk me into coming.
That's fine, I wasn't
The
fucking
Norns,
gonna.
Tales of our fates. It's everything I've walked away from.
But because my back hurt, and I honestly couldn't, half the time didn't really feel like talking. But I don't want to say that the game feels bloated, because it doesn't. But it does feel like... it feels like they want to cover too many bases. Because, like, yeah, it's cool that I got to play as Atreus. That's fun. I like that it changes up the gameplay. Even though technically it doesn't. If you really think about it, it doesn't change up the gameplay any. You still have the same melee attacks, and then the buttons for shooting the bow are the same as what I would use for throwing my axe. Only difference is that one is now more powerful than the other. The bow is, more powerful than... But, like... And then they give me, like, companions half the time. so that I have someone to command the way I would command Atreus. And then they give me a sword that essentially acts as Atreus. It's got, like, yeah, it's nice that it's all fighting, doing a little bit of damage on its own, but Atreus does that anyway. And I can command it to do a few swipes, just like Atreus. And it's almost like, I don't know, like, it's almost like the game is afraid to have me be without one of its mechanics for too long. Like, having me have to go off without Atreus, but then shoehorning in other companions, like Brock or someone. And yeah, it was cool to have Brock on my team for a while. And it is cool, like, to see the different ways they fight, with how, like, Sindri just pulls random shit out of his pouch. But, like, I remember in the first game when Atreus was kind of undergoing his little godly douchebaggery moment. I think as much as I've talked about how poorly written that was, although I would say it's not as much that it's poorly written, it's just poorly paced. I just think they didn't have the time to make that arc as much as, although it is very poorly written, or maybe not the writing, but very poorly designed, that you can still do side quests when you're at that part, because you can literally go from him going, "I'm sick of hearing about little people's little problems," and then 5 minutes later go off and do a side quest and hear Trace going like, "Shouldn't we be helping people?" So, and I get that it would have been way too much work to have different dialogue for all the side quests, but it could have just, like, had it blocked off and had Kratos say that we need to focus on our mission or whatever. But one aspect of that I did like is that there's a part in that where pressing square no longer does anything. He won't shoot when you tell him to. And that's a really cool moment when you realize that he's not obeying your commands, and you feel that through gameplay. I've always been a very, very big advocate of finding ways to have the story be felt through gameplay. Anyway. So yeah, it just feels like, I don't want to say bloated or anything, but it does feel at times like the game is almost afraid to, like every moment, no matter what it wants to do with its story, it wants to find a way to keep the mechanics and the flow of gameplay the same.
Oh, this? Only when I worry.
How would Atreus get to Asgard?
I'm sorry, but you'd have to ask Odin. He's got control of every path. I know how highly you esteem our expertise on such things, so I'm sure that's disappointing. He's just been one step ahead of us.
Do I have any upgradables? Let's make one of these. Increased damage. Hold on a second. The set bonus for that increases damage of all of Kratos' ranged attacks based on his cooldown. Oh, okay. Now, it took me a minute because I didn't understand what that meant. I thought it was saying, like, how much of a cooldown your abilities were on. So I was thinking, like, does it get stronger as it's more cooldown, or is it closer to being done with its cooldown? But then I realized I'm a fucking idiot and it's talking about the stat. By the way, how can I, there it is. How do I... Ooh. Jewel of Yggdrasil. Luna's Lost Curious. Not really... Melee attacks increase based on his rage. I like things that give me cooldown, so I can use my abilities. Melee attacks against poisoned enemies do increase damage. What? How do I even poison an enemy? I do the stun grab a lot, so that might be worth using. Let's check my pommel on that. Frost Awakening and ooh, same thing, but this time it gives a blessing of cooldown. I like that. So now, by having both of those equipped, if I stun grab an enemy, I'll get a little bonus to my cooldown, and I'll get some,
Hang on! I got something for you. Sindri!
Coming!
Before you go traipsing off into the dawn, I thought you'd like to have this back. Well, don't go getting too cheery about it, but you're welcome.
I've collected what we need to find the Norns. Shall we go?
double tap, shield bash. Yeah, I'm going with that. Going with the classic. Also, just from like a story point of view, it would make sense that he'd want to use the one that... Oh, I haven't been using any of these. Shield strikes against status affected enemies. Gets blessing of cooldown when interrupting blue attacks. Ooh, gimme.
Neathhope. I suspect we may have consequences to look forward to.
Squirrel.
Ah, Master Kratos, my apologies. Madame Neathoge's disappearance weighs heavily on my mind.
She a friend of yours?
Less a friend than another long-time tenant of the tree. She was here even before I arrived, and that was ages ago. To even think something could keep her away from her babies. Terrible, just terrible.
Are we gonna tell him? Look at her face. She's like, tell what? I didn't do shit. Alright. Interestingly, there's still, like, side quests I can do. And it makes me wonder, if they've, like, accounted for that. By which I mean, like, oh, Jotunheim, so it looks like I will be able to go to, I do get to go to all the realms. But anyway, I wonder if, like, dialogue, during side quests is, like, changed for, like, which companion you have with you. That'd be interesting.
certain Atreus could not still be in Midgard.
I was just there and found no trace.
Although I don't...
Odin invited him. He must have provided a way.
No, that is not the only explanation. Tell me where we find these Norns.
I discovered some of their threads near the frozen lake. I stashed one for spellcrafting, but we may also use it to find them. Just remember, they really don't want to be found.
Well, at least things will be difficult for a change.
What is this path?
Oh, just one of the many insane things we had to do to get to Jotunheim.
You jumped?
We were protected.
Evidently.
Yeah.
We should take your sled and head to the lake.
So, like... How do I put this?
Midgard. How I've missed the freezing gusts and constant raider attacks.
Yeah, it's lovely.
I believe Kratos is responsible for Fimbulwinter, and that killing him will end it.
Where would they get an idea like that?
From me, of course.
Of course.
Anyway, like, I'm kind of torn on that. Here's something I want to explain about myself, is I love, like I was saying before, as much as I don't like when, like, I'm not a huge fan of when games from other genres get shifted in this direction, like how this game was, which is why I didn't buy it when it first came out. I do enjoy, like, these kind of, like, ghost train rides, which is what Yahtzee calls them, where it's just, like, a lot of walking and talking and set pieces and stuff. Just because when they're well written, I love the banter between the characters, and it is neat when they put in the extra effort to have a different set of dialogue depending on if you do something with one companion or do it with the other. But at the same time, I don't really like that because it makes me constantly feel like I'm missing out. Like I haven't finished it, but when I was playing the Outer Worlds, having different, like, you can only have 2 companions with you at a time, and there's like 8 companions in the game, and like they'll chime in on conversations and stuff, and it's nice that they do chime in on conversations, and they can even help you out during conversations and stuff, but it almost, like, maybe this is just me, but it just gives me this feeling like I'm missing out on any conversations with other characters. And I know that you can say, well, you could just, replay the game with a different set of party members, but I shouldn't have to replay the game several times with specific sets of party members, 100%ing the game each time of every quest just to, get every bit of a dialogue. And that's just kind of frustrating. Although, in something like Outer Worlds, it is alleviated a little bit by the fact that you can just, like, pick, like, your favorite characters to bring with you, which I didn't get very far in the game, but my favorite was Pavarity and, I forget her name, but she was the chick that was always drunk. And, like, her, like, special move would zoom in on her taking a swig and then shooting a bunch of shit. But I stopped playing it. I never finished that game. I actually didn't get very far. I only got to the 3rd world. Because what happened is I bought the season pass. So, like, I just wanted to wait. Because, like, I just don't have it in me. Like, some people do. And maybe when I was younger I did, but I don't have it in me to, like, play a game and then months or even a year later come back to my same save file for the DLC, because I won't remember anything. I don't remember how the game works. I won't remember, so I'll just end up having to start a new file there. And so at the time that I got the game, one of the DLCs was out, and the other one was a few months away, so after playing a bit, I just kind of put it aside. I was like, I'll do this later. Someone lit a fire. Just saying.
We should get down to the wolves, brother.
I don't know why it even lets me go into the house if there's nothing to do during those parts.
Come. Quiet. She is a friend. Now.
Better they get this from you. Once the wolves have the scent of the Norns, we'll just need to follow their lead.
I will open the gate. Stop whining.
Their fur is matted. When did you last brush them?
They are wolves.
And matted fur leads to disease. Take care of them and they'll take care of you.
Brother, what exactly do you intend to ask the Norns?
How I may find my son. Nothing more.
You don't imagine it's a chance to clear up all this mess about prophecy? Perhaps get a second opinion on your alleged demise.
You didn't tell me you had a death prophecy?
When Atreus and I reached Jotunheim, we found a hidden mural. The giants, Faye herself, had foreseen our entire journey long ago. Who we would meet, who we would fight. All of it, as it happened.
But you aren't dead.
That image was from a time yet to come.
I see. You've never struck me as someone who fears death. That's not the problem, is it?
No. Death can have me when it earns me.
Then maybe it's not the future that bothers you. Faye sent you on your journey, and she made sure you'd see that image at the end of it. And you're still not sure why.
I wish to speak of this no further.
I think what I'll do is, like I said, I'm gonna do not like a full 100% playthrough, but for the recording, I'm gonna like get as much done as I can. I think what I'll do is I'll like try to remember which side quests, like who I had with me when I did each side quest. And then if it turns out that there is like differing dialogues to hear, I'll like swap it each time. Lake of the Nine. Here we are.
Now that we are on the lake, how will we find the Norns?
Watch the wolves closely. See how their heads point the way?
Oh. That's neat. So I still don't have the ability to do whatever that is. Which is weird because that looks kind of like the thing I got the chisel for.
Raiders have made themselves quite at home. Not sure I've been back to these parts since our great battle with Sigrun.
She speaks highly of that fight as well.
You know of that?
She told me all about it when she found me. She believed you could be an ally. Long before I believed it.
The Valkyrie Queen. An ally.
I'm the Valkyrie Queen. As Sigrun was stubbornly determined to remind me.
I should have guessed it was Sigrun helping you recover yourself. She's so loyal, wise, clever, tall.
Doesn't take a love goddess to see where you're coming from.
Uh-huh.
I scouted ahead. The lake's crawling with raiders. Be careful.
Alright.
This thread of fate we are tracing.
It's not somebody's life, if that's what you mean. The Norns use it to mark their way when they're outside of the well.
The Nords live in a well.
No. The Well of Earth, their home, is hard to explain. It's in no fixed place. Entrances come and go. A place wholly under their influence, where the intangible becomes tangible. Like being inside your own mind.
But if we go in together, are we in each other's minds? Not so sure I like the sound of that.
Yeah, that's... I know I'm kind of off the beaten path here, but I just want to see... I'm just kind of curious, like, how much the, of the lake I'm going to be able to explore. Where was the other one at? Ah, there it is. I'm surprised they don't have like a bit of dialogue where he says like, I wonder if the Norn will be bothered by you looting all their chests.
Well, let's get back on track. See if the wolves can find the Norns.
Mimir, have you encountered these Norns?
Not personally. Freya's right. They have ways of discouraging visitation. Odin made his share of efforts. Wouldn't talk about what he found. Either he gave up, or he wanted to forget what he saw. Freya, you mind telling us what you experienced when you sought the Norns last time?
There's another one of them graves.
Hazy, like waking up from a dream. Mainly, I remember that nothing could be done to change my son's fate, which only made me more determined to try.
Brother, what of your story? You faced the fates of your homeland, yeah? The legends I heard about the ghost of Sparta were surely exaggerated.
Exaggerated?
Oh, not in the brazen bloodshed righteous fury part. The part where it said you traveled back in time itself to win a battle once lost. It's strange credulity, obviously. I mean, a rumor about Thor knocking the world serpent back in history from Ragnarok is one thing.
It is the truth. The threads of fate span all life and time. The Sisters of Fate abused their power. When I challenged them, they threatened to undo my existence. So I killed them and turned their power on Zeus.
That's the most dangerous and irresponsible thing I've ever heard. These Norns have no such magic, nor does anyone in these realms that I've ever seen.
Aye, can you imagine? If it existed, Odin would have it. And if Odin had it, we'd be 5 shades more fucked than we are already.
I would not ask them to change the past, even if they could. I only want information.
And that's quite dangerous enough, in my experience. Right flank! I felt that one, brother.
What the fuck are... Okay, so those big guys have a way of doing a little suicide-y, kamikaze last-minute thing. Alright, 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 alright. No, it's fine. I just didn't know that big dude was gonna fucking... I mean, I could tell he was doing something, but I thought it was like he was gonna like pull like a second health bar out of his ass or something. Ah! Where did he come from?
Enemies on the left.
That's extra.
Fire from behind.
One more to go.
All right.
That's all of them.
These were coal raiders. Infamous for...
Eating wolves. Atreus and I rescued ours from such an encampment.
That was kind of you. The coal raiders have been a blight on this land. The way they've abused its creatures. Perhaps we should do something about them.
Perhaps.
Up to you, brother. If the Norns know the future, no doubt they expect us to show up a bit late.
Yeah, I could go take care of that. Doesn't seem like they're all that far away. Like I said, I want to wait until I have everything before I commit to full exploration.
Yes. We weren't yet at war, but relations with the Vanir and Aesir had been hostile for ages. Freyr got it into his head that he could improve relations by sharing our magic with them.
Hold. We will finish later.
Okay, so this is like the boat. That's why I kept like stopping it and like going in circles, because I didn't know if it was the same as the boat with the conversations.
Freya, how did your brother come to be burned by the Aesir?
Well, he was trying to improve relations with them by sharing our magic. Vanir techniques for bountiful harvests, enough to feed their whole population. Getting set on fire was the thanks he got.
That's true. The Aesir were too undisciplined and impatient for the subtlety of Vanir spellcraft. So when things went wrong, they blamed their teacher.
So Freya was our guest when Odin burned him?
Not exactly. Odin didn't mind locking Freyr up. He saw the potential of the magic and wanted to know more than how to improve crop yields. It was a mob of lesser Aesir, bitter and short-sighted, who tied him up and lit him aflame as punishment for the sabotage they imagined him guilty of. Obviously, he survived. In fact, he used the opportunity to escape. But such an affront made war inevitable.
Wait. That building.
How strange. I've never seen that building before.
Aye. Very strange indeed. Let's take a closer look.
Okay, that bounced right the fuck off of him.
Come on, Kratos! Off your back!
Well, get fucking back and... Not back, oh, fucking back and... Okay. Okay, these fuckers... These are some two-hit wonders. I need to be careful. I need some fucking... How is it that I'm this far in the game and I still don't have any heavy runic attacks? I mean, maybe it's just that the heavy ones tend to be... That's not what I meant to do.
Incoming left side!
Fuck.
Wait. The shield that's blocking the entrance. It looks exactly like the one from Tyr's statue.
Brother, your fight with Thor must have scattered pieces of Tyr's statue all over the lake. Looks like the shield ended up lodged here. All this must have been hidden behind the ice until that shield smashed through it.
Hmm. No, it's not that. Okay, what's this?
Doesn't look like you can brute force it.
There's one of those. Hey, can you do a boop and then a boop? There we go. How do I? Wait, how did I? I know there was a way to. No? How the fuck did I do that before then? Or is it like only... Does it have to be something made out of a material? Okay, we could try that, but... Okay, it has to be something that, like, my blade can get stuck in. No? What else can I do that? Okay, I can do it to that.
Sigil Sigil arrows won't work on this.
You will. You will. Fuck. Okay, then. I'm probably overthinking this. If I'm going to be climbing this, then.
Arrows, brother! Arrows!
Alright, we'll deal with this area in the next video. Thanks for watching.